Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk in the Freedom Mentorship. We're going to be talking about stress symptoms and why they quietly stall your business. If you are new to me, I am Stephanie Zima. I'm the founder of the Walk It Free Mentorship, where we heal, connect, and level up. And the purpose here is to get online entrepreneurs or women in sales or women in general to get off a roller coaster of emotions up and down and craziness of life onto a solid foundation from where you can take the action and the steps to reach the life that you do not regret. Okay. And as we are now in this new year, actually, I want to kind of dive back for just 1 second and tell you why this Walk It Free mentorship is so important to me. I've seen my mother struggle and die eventually from cancer, and I realized that there was a woman that hasn't lived her life all the way through to the fullest of her capacities. And I looked at that and I saw that and I thought to myself, like, there's got to be so much more to life than just hustling and trying to make things work and having mental load and feeling upset all the time. And I knew money was always a big issue, right, for people, for me even. Like, I've always had this deep sense of feeling unsafe somehow, and didn't have enough savings for retirement. I didn't have enough put away to save for a rainy day, right? Paycheck to paycheck, those kind of things. And it always left me struggling. It always left me emotionally angry, trying to get approval from people was a second thing, so financial insecure, and then also trying to get the approval from other people to validate my being and my existence was what I recognized. That was my inheritance that I've gotten looking at life through this angle, right? And when I realized that my mother ran out of time to make her life count, I made the decision to say, no, no more. My life needs to matter. I need to break that cycle. I need to make something. I need to walk it free. I want to feel the peace now. I want to feel relief now. I want to get financial independent now. And what I recognized was that so many of us are holding out on ourselves, right? Because we are not having the tools. We're not taking the action. So we shame ourselves. I mean, emotions are messy. We know that. But it's not the solution to hide them or to put them in a corner or to ignore them or to put medication on top of them. It is our responsibility to recognize them, embrace them as messengers, to then work with them and then to reach the dreams and the life that we want to do. And that's what we're here for, okay? Because I've recognized that emotions and the way how we are feeling, our stress, our nervous system, all of that has a big impact on our life and on how we are going about everything. Okay. So having said that, so how do we go? If stress symptoms were just physical, right, they wouldn't affect your income the way they did. And we don't think about this correlation enough. We are not necessarily letting it sink in. Okay. And it's important that we do. We need to figure that out. Stress symptoms are not just physical, otherwise, they would not affect your income. And this is how. Part number one, cortisol and your mental load. We all know about cortisol levels, right? We know that chronic stress keeps our system on alert. Cortisol is being distributed through our body, and it doesn't only impact our weight, but it impacts so much more. And chronic stress, meaning stress endured over a long time, is what's actually dangerous, not just in development of cancer, but for your business as well. Because when we feel stressed, our thoughts are becoming narrow-minded. Our focus will become narrow-minded. Our body will react, and we are not going to have We can't step into creativity to create content. We can't step into conversations with people, connecting with people. We can't do what we are here to do that gives us the financial freedom that we're looking for or that financial relief that we're looking for. I mean, some of us just want to pay their credit card bills for crying out loud, or we want to just maybe not live paycheck to paycheck and just have something extra. Maybe some of us, as simple as that, just want to have extra money that we can maybe order out one day instead of having to cook or not feel so guilty all the time, right? But we can't take the action, we can't perform the work if our body is so stressed, and our chronic stress keeps us hostage because that's really, when you think about it, this is really what it is. The alert systems in our body, right? The way how our body functions is there to prioritize safety. Okay, everything we do in our body, our brain, is there to keep us safe, not necessarily growing out of the comfort zone. So when you think about it, when your system is under attack through any kind, maybe physical, you're not sleeping enough, you're having really poor health habits, you are maybe not eating well, all those things, your system will shut down. When you have emotional stressors, like you are living in an environment of non conducive to your growth, encouraging, supporting environment, which many of us are dealing with, like we are dealing with spouses that are not necessarily on our side. We are dealing with family members that think that our MLM is a scheme that you're in. We're having all these people that we love dearly, no doubt about it, but they are not helping our growth. They are in there so to keep us safe, right? So our system is like chronic stress, chronic stress. It's like flashing at us all the time, saying, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. It's danger, 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 danger. Every single time you're trying to reach out to a prospect or make a list or have it sit down to work your business, danger, danger, danger. Now, listen, these things are happening subconsciously inside of your body. You are not having a conscious thought like, okay, well, I think my brain is going to tell me danger, 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 unless you have heard about it from somebody, unless you are already aware. Most people are not aware that these processes are happening in your body, and that is why I preach about it. I talk about it all the time because it is important to every single thing you're doing. Have you ever wondered why it is that seemingly 80% of people are not able to take the action? How is it that 80% of humans are not capable of reaching the next level? I happen to be somebody that absolutely refuses to let anyone behind or leave anybody behind. I have a no troll leave behind policy, okay? I've been a person that has always fought for the underdog. I've been a person that has always stepped in and fought for those that couldn't. And right now, I'm seeing the 80% of people that are all having the pain of not being financially free, not being happy, not being able to be connected with family and kids. And, I see discord everywhere. I see discomfort everywhere. I see individuals screaming for help all over the place. And I'm like, why? What's going on? Well, it's many things, but one of them is that you are not aware of the stress and the stressors that you have going on for yourself right now, physically, emotionally, and financially. Those are the stressors that are happening all over the place, and it's because you are not aware what is going on, okay? And awareness is not a fix yet. Okay, but I need you to be aware that overthinking is a stress response. I need you to know that when you're overthinking, this is not who you are. This is not your identity. Alert systems prioritize safety, not growth. And overthinking is a stress response, not your personality trait. But we walk around like wearing this like a badge of honor of like, oh, this is who I am. No, this is not who you are. This is how you show up in this world. Okay, so looking at your body again, because that is where you see the biggest cues first and foremost. Okay, because our body gives us signs as to what is happening. If you're bloating, if you're fatigued, if you're not having capacity, if you're feeling burnt out, a body is holding the tension for all the stressors that are happening, and that is what's going on. So your body is going to keep score. If you guys haven't read the book The Body Keeps Score, definitely read the book The Body Keeps Score, because it does. And it's vital. It's your foundational thing. You have to understand that any kind of trauma, any kind of bad experiences, any kind of mental mindset issues will be held in your body. The last 6 months of my life, here, this in 2025, the last 6 months, I was focusing so much on healing my body, releasing tension from my hips, releasing tension from my lower back. Those tensions, they were stored there not just from old trauma, but they were also stored there from recent trauma, like my daughter's 12-hour surgery that I had sat through, and it was super stressful for me. And the feelings of being left alone and felt left alone, the grief that I've been going through, like all these emotional triggers and traumas that we're enduring all the time. You have to work with them if you want to make more capacity for other things, such as your business, for example. Okay, so fatigue reduces decisiveness and confidence. So when you find yourself not being able to take the action, overthinking everything, not being able to post, procrastinating on it, imposter syndrome, overthinking stuff, all of these symptoms is not who you are. All these symptoms are literally just signs that your system is not safe, that your nervous system is stressed to the max. Okay? And that is where you need to heal. You need to heal it. You need to figure out what is really going on for me here. See, you all want to build this big business. You want to make so much money. But think about it. How are you going to build this? You're building this on a surface of what? What happens if that little one story ranch building that you have right now, if even, becomes a 2 level, and then it becomes a high rise, and then it becomes a Trump Tower, right? But you have no solid foundation. What's going to happen? It's going to all fall down, right? That's the same as what happens when you're trying to build a big, huge, large team, when you don't have a solid foundation of boundaries, solid foundation of how to deal with your nervous system, how to recharge, how to fuel your body, how to deal with rejection, how to have confidence, all these things. You just won't make the actions. You won't take the action, okay? And you can take class after class after class after class, and you can take mastermind after mastermind after mastermind after mastermind, but if you don't have a foundation, you will throw your money to the wind, okay? You need to have a solid foundation. Expansion feels threatening when energy is low. Of course, because your body is, remember what? Trying to keep you safe, okay? It's trying to keep you safe. Now, you won't expand if you don't feel safe. So you got to feel safe. That's got to be your number one priority. You got to feel safe inside of your body, inside of your skin, inside of your environment, in order to make things happen. Now, in part 3, stress and income stagnation is where this is tying together, okay? So growth requires tolerance for visibility and uncertainty. What does that mean? Growth requires tolerance. Tolerance for visibility and uncertainty. So when we reach out to people, we don't know what they're going to say. We don't know, are they going to reject you? We don't know if they're going to accuse you. We don't know if they are going to ignore you, okay, and ghost you. We don't know any of those things. You got to develop some kind of tolerance for that. It's scary. if you have no foundation of self-confidence, self-trust, right? That's scary then. So you got to build that foundation first. Stress narrows risk tolerance. When you stress too much about the outcome, like meaning you don't have a good strategy, you can't set a strategy because you're already stressed, and you are like, you can't zoom out and see the big picture because you're like so stressed and you're just seeing the one thing in front of you. And that's not focus, by the way. That's just a stress response that we then avoid through scrolling, or we avoid this through watching TV, or we avoid this through doing laundry or other things. Anything other than what you need to do to move the needle forward in your business. So that stress needs to be put away first so you can actually develop that risk tolerance. Okay, you're taking a risk that people are going to ghost you. You're going to take the risk that people are going to reject you. Okay, there's uncertainty, and humans don't want to be uncertain. Humans want to always do what they know the outcome, because that feels safe, right? That feels safe. So you need to learn how to be safe within visibility, or lack, yeah, within visibility. You need to learn how to be safe within uncertainty. You need to be able to reduce the stress so you increase your risk tolerance. Okay, and your regulation then will restore leadership energy. When you can lead yourself, you can lead others. Okay, when you lead yourself, you can lead others. And that is what is all about, you guys. Okay, that's what it's all about. Inside the Freedom Mentorship, we don't separate the body, the mind, and the business. We actually we help you release what's keeping your system stuck so you can stop feeling so heavy. Okay, if you really want to make an impact in 2026, if you really want to change what's going on, you need to be able to make yourself safe in these situations. You've got to figure out how to make that all happen. How you have a full, solid foundation. And that is what we are dealing with. January, February, March, especially. We're going to heal, then we're going to connect, and then we're going to level up. So if that sounds like something you could use, it's only $27. So hop on into our Freedom Mentorship. The link is somewhere over here, wherever you're watching. And do yourself that favor. You will not only start learning how to thrive in your business, but you will also be able to take away these nuggets and help your entire life, your peace right now. And remember how I talked about my mom and the fact that it was too late for her at some point. You've got to learn how to enjoy this journey now, how to have focus, how to feel good about yourself, how to have peace, how to enjoy every single step. It's kind of like, when you look at parenthood, okay? When you have that beautiful baby, you have that beautiful baby, and it's like you have her in your arms, and you look at her and you say, "Oh, that's amazing." Can you imagine if you would skip through this whole parenting journey and just wait till the fact that they are out of the house? And that's like your goal, right? I mean, it's ultimately is our goal to create humans that are able to continue their life and your legacy. But can you imagine you would skip up all these beautiful moments? Preschool, kindergarten, middle school, high school, teenagerhood. Like, yes, it comes with challenges. Yes, it's coming with heartaches, but it was also coming with super much joy and a lot of fun, nice things. Now, can you imagine if you would skip this all up? Can you imagine if you wouldn't have any of this anymore? Can you imagine? Be awful, right? That's the same with your business. Okay, so please make sure you keep that in mind, that you are learning how to enjoy every single day, that you can start keeping your system safe, getting it safe, becoming aware of the different aspects so that you can have strategy, that you can have a goal, that you can know what to do, have a plan that you can actually follow. And if you ever wonder like what makes me so different than other people, it's that I don't just teach you my system. I teach you to learn your system. And that's where the real magic happens. This is where your transformation actually happens. Because The way how I live my life, maybe not your way of life, right? But I want to teach you how to find your way of life. Make sense? Okay. All right. Thank you so much for spending time with me. If you loved what you heard here today, do me a favor and tag a person that should be knowing this. Send it out to somebody. Share it. I want to spread the word so much about the Walk It Free systems and ways of thinking because it's revolutionary. It's not anything that we are talking about. And if you are a woman that believes in growth and lifting others, right? We rise by lifting others. If you want to rise yourself in 2026, start by lifting others. And you can take one small little piece by tagging a woman in this video and sharing it out because we deserve it. Okay? All right. Walk it free.